Hello students, I welcome you all to another session of the private class with the Millennium Teacher, a class that teaches the lessons of life based on facts, a class that inspires, motivates, and transforms you into a better person. I hope you're ready to learn. Okay, let's get to it. In our previous class, we dealt with the four main types of education and we explained them into some details, and I hope to this point now you understand them better. So in today's class, we're going to start talking about the classes of life. In the first place, what is the meaning of class? Class refers to, number one, the way that people are divided into different social and economic groups. Number two, a group, collection, or category of people that have similar attributes, characteristics, and qualities. Number three, the division of society based on wealth, power, influence, etc. So these are just dictionary definitions to the meaning of the word class. In the school of life, there are various classes to which every man belongs. These classes refer to the different groups, collections, or categories of people to which we belong in the society and in the world at large. The classes of life affect every area of life and determine the kind of lifestyle that every man lives. Oh yes, the classes of life affect even the food we eat. It affects the clothes we wear. It affects the places we live in, the places we find ourselves, including villages, towns, cities, countries. Everything we do in life is based on the classes of life that we find ourselves. But the big question is, why should we be classified when as human beings we are all made equally in the image and likeness of God? The textbook says, God made man in his image and after his likeness. So why should we be classified? Why should there be classes among us human beings? Why? In my opinion, the main reason why we are classified in life is because of the fact that life is a lesson and every man is a student. Like every lesson, life has different classes. Every class requires different students based on qualifications. You cannot just be in any class. You need to be qualified to be in another class, in a higher class. You need to be qualified. In academia, every school-going child is generally a pupil or student, but they all study different courses and sit different exams at different times. So not all of them are in the same classes. That's what we are made to understand from academia. You may have been to school. We are all classified, we are all referred to as students or pupils. We are all the same. Everybody going to school is a student or a pupil. But even though we are all students, yet we differ in the courses that we study. We take different lessons. So similarly, in life, we are all human beings. None of us is more human than the other. But we all experience different things and at different times. So all of us cannot be in the same class. What happens to you may not be the same thing that will be happening to somebody else. And what may have happened to somebody else may not be the same thing that may have happened to you. Or the way you deal with that issue that happened to that person might be different from the way that that person dealt with it. So the two of you cannot be in the same class. There are differences. So we all cannot be in the same class. We undergo different trials. We undergo different circumstances. Different challenges come our ways. Different problems come our way. And we deal with them in different ways. And so how can we be in the same class? We all cannot be in the same classes. So life is a lesson. We are all taking different lessons at different times. And we all have different qualifications. So we all cannot be in the same class. I hope you understand that. There are three main classes of life. They include 1. First or high class. 2. Second or middle class. 3. Third or low class. These are the three main classes of life to which we all belong. We all have been divided into these three classes. The first class, which is the high class, the second class, which is the middle class, and the third class, which is the low class. We've all been divided into these three categories of life by reason of what we have been through, by reason of how life has been for us. And so we'll stop the class here for today, but we have an assignment. We have named the three classes of life, but we have not defined them. And so here comes the assignment. Number 1, define the three classes of life in your own words. Do your own research and define these three classes of life. How do you define first class? How do you define second class? How do you define third class? Number 2, from your definition, indicate which class you belong currently. Number 3, do you want to remain in that class? Answer yes or no and give a tangible reason. Number 4, which class will you like to belong and why? Yes, you must have a class that you like among the three main classes of life. The first class, the second class, or the third class. You must have one which you like best. So, you have to answer the question. Which of these classes do you want to belong? And so, do your assignments and drop them in the comment section, in the comment box. I will deal with them later before our next class. Make sure you submit your assignment before the next class so that we'll be able to address them. And by the time we come in our next class, we, based on the definitions that you guys are going to give, we'll now buttress on the three classes of life and move ahead with the lesson. As we go along with the private class, do your best to study hard as a student because the lesson of life is not easy. Continue to study. Study to show yourself approved. Till we meet again, I'll be your teacher, Solomon Joseph Kekura. Class dismissed.